How are you? And you know what? I love your topic today because yeah, you give this headline, we should be scared, especially if we always had a dream to create a software as a service company. So give us the headline.
Yeah, so the headline I saw it because I almost got scared too. I was like, "Oh, gee." The headline is "SaaS is dead," and it's basically a LinkedIn article that I was reading and effectively saying that the original traditional ways for how we used to build software as a service is rapidly changing, and that's true. AI is coming through now, and it's not so much more about creating a point and click workflow anymore. We have whole AI agents that handle that workflow. So what happens to our software as a service products when everything's handled by an AI, when we just put it in an input and expect an output? We don't need that much of user experience or complex flows, right? Something simple as a chat window seems to be working pretty well. So that's where I saw that article and I was like, wow, okay, SaaS isn't really dead. It's going to be around for a long time. But the implication is the way that we're experiencing the technology, we're using software is ultimately going to change. And I think this is ultimately true. You're starting to really see this actually for software engineering, right? And as a daily programmer, I used to spend hours coding some random program to do something really small. Now the AI can just do it for me. And what that forces me as a developer to do is focus on now what are the business use cases that I'm really solving? And does the AI, what it's outputting, actually give me what I need? So this idea that SaaS is dead is partially, I think, has some legs to it. The original way how we used to build software as a service platforms is going to have to change, right? So imagine this, Neil, right? You're selling an enterprise company. They've got like hundreds of employees, and you're just now implementing this software. All 100 people, they all got different ways for how they interact with your tool. And
Right.
it was like really hard for folks to build one unified experience across the board. But now we don't need a whole design and UI UX department. We can simplify the experience because our workflow, we don't need as many workflows. So that's where when I saw the article SaaS is dead, I was like, is it really? But I had to think about it like, wow,
Yeah.
we are rapidly changing
So
the
let's just
landscape.
give you an example. The biggest companies are going to be AI companies. You're going to look at $1 billion company with one employee. This is down the line.
Right.
So a lot, I think that SaaS is in its final legs in certain ways, Christopher, in the fact that what you think things are going a certain direction, and then, like I'm saying, everyone is still running to putting a wrapper on something from
Yeah.
ChatGPT or one of the platforms. They're already running to create a service base, but and it's still licenses. So I'm confused. You don't think it is? I don't haven't seen anything because I think it's the first option. I talk about a different type of service. It's not a software as a service. And we talked about
Yeah.
that. We talked that on our podcast where education becomes the consulting side becomes and training becomes hands-on with human beings or potentially AI. But then that becomes a software. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't see that dying anytime soon. So where even oh my gosh, I forgot who said this. Software as a service is dead. It might be just defined
It was a
differently.
Microsoft CEO. He said this.
So,
Uh,
but it might be defined differently.
Well, here's the way that I put it. The SaaS is dead was the scary headline, but actually what's happening is SaaS is being reimagined. And I think that's where the core crux of it is. And just the original ways that the game was played as it relates to how you got funding for your SaaS product, how you gained users, all of that is completely changing. And so now this is forcing companies to think about, okay, what's the true value that I'm giving people? We don't need another note-taking app. You can agree, right, Neil, right?
No.
We've got note-taking agents who
I
can
mean, no,
pull
no,
down
I
our
don't need,
information.
I don't need a note taking. I just go right into Chat GPT. This is the other problem. Everyone, that's why software services is redefined because I'll figure out how to use everything with OpenAI. I won't
Right.
need to go buy another product. I'll just freaking reinvent it
Right.
in the system. I don't want to go to 72 different apps.
Right.
But other people like that. They said, okay, here's my writing app. Like they say, oh, no, but I can do my writing with ChatGPT and I still can get my editing with ChatGPT. Why the hell am I going to go back and do this other shit and thing? But that's the problem is people want the user experience. So using Grammarly is still a better user experience than ChatGPT, right?
Absolutely. Yes. And what this is going to ultimately, you want to focus on that core pain point, design a user experience around that and the problem they're having, and scale from there, as opposed to being this like all in one, we're gonna handle everything for you, is starting to go force people to really provide value in a meaningful way instead of being like this catch-all of SaaS products. So yeah, I think this is an opportunity for software as a service founders to really start differentiating their product in a different way, right? Like you said, I could go to ChatGPT for Grammarly, but Grammarly has figured out, hey, I want to know what the edits are within me typing it. So, being super close to your user base and understanding what their needs and desires are, I think that's going to win the future versus a number of this different slop that's coming out nowadays.
It's crazy. It certainly is, man. It's like, what the heck? So no, I get it, but like I said, but you're right. No one's going to like that. Like for example, the one company we had on the Savant podcast, they really focused on teaching people prompts. I don't need someone to show me how to do a freaking prompt. I can do it myself. But for somebody else that wants just to
Right.
plug in, I'm looking to create a video that's this, and this. And they could grab a series of prompts it's more. So that won't eliminate it. So people aren't going to just want to use Microsoft that's just all encompassing in one thing. They're still
Right.
going to want niche.
Yeah, because the AI, that's the thing about open AI, unfortunately. It does everything what you need, but it doesn't do one specific thing really well. And that's
See,
where some of that power of niche.
I would say that's not the case anymore, but that might be in coding, vibe coding. It's probably you definitely need to have other software as a service to go and
Right.
do vibe coding, but for certain things, as an assistant, as research, it is gone unreal.
Yeah.
But you're right. When you're talking about your industry, you need to have another app, which is another app means another software as a service.
Yeah. Well, and that's the power of niching, right? It's like
Right.
you're building a venture centered around this huge problem someone's having, and that's what's ultimately going to get us to sale for the software as a service future. Are you truly solving a problem, and how deep and rich is your solution? Because I was just talking to somebody today. The number of features I have does not equal value. Can I do one thing super well
Because
and it be
people aren't
super
able to
deep and
do it.
super reach?
So there's only a few super people that can handle 20,000 projects and need only use one thing to do it. While the rest, we all need to have that simplicity of something that is going to go and say, okay, I'm working on writing. I'm a writer. I am going to go to Grammarly if I'm going to
Right,
use AI. If I'm a video editor, I'm going to use Descript. I'm not going to go ask OpenAI to somehow come up with something or create some
right.
other system. So those are softwares as a service, right? So to define the final thing, what is considered software as a service? So because Dan
Well,
Martell said software as a service is dead. That then that means Dropbox is dead. That means Google Drive is dead, right? Because that's a software as
yeah.
a service, right?
Well, the end of, yeah. Software as a service isn't dead. It's translating to agents as a service as the next part.
Right.
Because the internet, the way we're interacting with the internet is changing. So, I mean, think about Google. Right now, Google's stock dropped because the financial analyst said, hey, our search business is going down because people are searching in Chat GPT for their information to
Right.
do the deep research instead of just going straight to Google. That's a fundamental value change in the way that we're using the product or
Even
service.
though we're searching Bing, not Google.
Right. So, but yeah, when
Maybe
you
I
start
bet
looking through it,
it's probably searching Google in their deep research thing now. I bet. I bet.
almost definitely is. Um,
So that means Google's got to come up with a rebrand. But software as a service is define it for me. It's a monthly fee. It has to be a software, so it can't be an app. An app is not software as a service, is it?
well, technically software, yeah. I mean, a software could be it could have any type of medium. So software could be an AI agent, it could be an app, or it could be a desktop sort of
So is
software.
Dropbox a software as a service?
Absolutely, still is, and will still continue to do
Oh,
so.
and Google Drive is definitely a software as a service.
Correct.
And Microsoft Office is a software as a service.
Right. But what you're going to start to see is those transitions over into, oh, now you have your
Agent. You
Google
have an
Drive agent. Right.
yes.
So,
That
hey,
who will upload everything for you, meaning we'll take it from your desktop. You can run a program, but that's about 6 months away, potentially, where you as a normal person can go ahead and type in upload all my videos that I did on download from
right,
Descript, or take all my videos I just did in live streams and upload them automatically with a prompt to Google Drive without us having to do anything.
correct. You're spot on.
That's coming.
That's coming. Spot on. Yeah. Like Google Drive will know, hey, you just downloaded this. You want to put it in the Google Drive? And you say,
And you'll
yeah,
be
I do.
talking to an agent. So there'll be conversational AI agents for every software.
Effectively at some point pretty soon. Yeah. Because the way we're
Then
interacting
now,
with
how
our
am I going to
software is changing.
integrate ChatGPT to have a conversation with Google Drive? That's coming.
Yeah, you can just say connect it, sign in your account and password, and you're done.
But how long for conversational AI versus prompting with text?
Well, we're getting better at the prompting engineering so that I mean you could put in a caveman sentence and it'll still
Right. No, I
understand the
understand, but I'm just
context.
wondering where we're at. Okay. Best place to go is uxbright.com. Great conversation, Christopher. Take care.
UXbright.com. Check us out and then check us out on the on our Spotify podcast.
All right.